Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. I hope we're all doing absolutely fantastic, and today, as usual, we're going to continue the book by Cicero on the ideal orator. It's going to be the 52nd part of the second book, so let's get started. Arguments that derive from connected terms as follows. If dutifulness deserves the highest praise, you ought to be moved when you see Quintus Metellus mourn so dutifully from a genus. If magistresses ought to be subservient to the power of the Roman people, why do you accuse Norbanus, whose tribunate complied with the wishes of the community? From a species. If all who take counsel for the interests of the state ought to be dear to us, certainly this is particularly true of our generals, by whose counsels, courage, and risks we retain both our security and the dignity of our dominion. From a similarity. If wild animals love their young, what tenderness should we humans show toward our children? Again, from a difference. It may be typical of barbarians to live only for the moment, but our plans should aim at what endures. In both these categories of similarities and differences, we must often adduce examples taken from the deeds or words or experiences of others, as well as fictional stories. Furthermore, we can draw from an opposite as follows. If Gracchus' actions were criminal, Hypimius' action was splendid, and from attendant circumstances. If he was killed with a sword, and you, his enemy, were seized with a bloody sword on the very spot, and no one but you was seen there, and no one else had a motive, and you have always been reckless, can we feel any doubt about the crime? From consistencies and from antecedents, and from contradictions. If we say something like Gracchus once said as a young man, you may have defined Opimius Carbo, but that will no reason for these people on the jury to take you for a good citizen. It is obvious that you were pretending and that you had ulterior motives, seeing that you often lamented the death of Tiberius Gracchus in public meetings, that you were an accomplice with the murder of Scipio Africanus, that you proposed that law during your tribunate, and that you were always at odds with the good man. From causes as follows. If you want to eliminate greed, you must eliminate its mother, extravagance. From what results from causes. If we use the resources of the treasury to support war and to adorn peace, then let us devote ourselves to safeguarding the public revenues. We will compare the greater and lesser and the equal as follows. Starting from the greater. If a good reputation is superior to riches, and money is so keenly desired, how much greater should the desire for glory be? From the lesser as follows. Now, for the sake of a casual acquaintance, this boy bears his death, as if he'd known her so well. What then he'd loved her? What if he loved her? What will he do when I, his father, die? From the equal. It is typical of the same man both to steal money from the state and to hand it to lavishly and to hand it out lavishly for her detriment. Alright, guys, so we've done with another part, and we're going to continue tomorrow as usual on the next one. So thank you for joining me today in this session. See you tomorrow. Bye.